Today we are completing notes pages 5 and 6, and the title is Difference Tables and Slope. So let's go ahead and flip to page 6. Alright, so remember to add your title, difference tables, and slope, and your page number. This is page 6. And I would like you to copy this table into your notes. So pause for a second, copy the table, and then start the video again. Alright, if we wanted to finish filling out this table is giving us some information. It's telling us that our difference is constant. It's always whatever value k is. And even though we don't know k, we could learn some information about this table from that, knowing that that value k is constant. So if I wanted to find the next value, we know that since our difference is constant, that we are going to add 9 plus whatever this k is to get our next output value. So 9 plus k. And if I want to get the output value after that, I'm going to add k again. And off to this side, we're just going to make ourselves a reminder. So go ahead and draw yourself a bubble. That if I have 9k plus k and I add k to that, remember that k plus k is 2k. So this is going to equal 9 plus 2k. 9 plus 2k. And then to get our next output, we're going to add k again. So we've got 9 plus 2k plus k, or 9 plus 3k. If I add k again, now I've got 9 plus 4k. And I'm going to add k again, 9 plus 5k. I could use this same rule to go backwards. So if I added k to get to the next output, to get to the previous output, I could subtract k. So if I wanted to know the value for input 1, I could say 9 minus k. Or if I was going to subtract k again to get back to input of 0, I could say 9 minus 2k. And that would give us our output for our input of 0. So what if we're told that our output for 7, f of 7, equals negative 6? Well, if I come back and look at what we've done in our table so far, we already know that f of 7 equals 9 plus 5k. So if f of 7 equals negative 6 and f of 7 equals 9 plus 5k, that tells us that we know 9 plus 5k has to equal negative 6, because those two things both equal f of 7. So now if we want to figure out what k is, we can solve this equation to help us find our constant of k. So we don't want 9 here, we want 0. So to get from 9 to 0, we're going to subtract 9. We have to do that from both sides of our equation. So 9 minus 9 gives us 0, and negative 6 minus 9 gives us negative 15. We don't want to know what 5k is equal to. We want only 1k. So to get to 1k, we have to divide both sides of our equation by 5. And that will give us the value that k equals negative 3. Because negative 15 divided by 5 gives us negative 3. We also talked about yesterday that the difference in our table is the slope of our equation. So we could use slope to find this value of k. And remember that slope is our change in y divided by our change in x. Or another way to write that is if you subtract your y values divided by subtracting your x values. So in this example, we had an input of 2 gave us an output of 9, and an input of 7 gave us an output of 6. So to use our slope formula to figure out our constant, First, we have to subtract our y values. And so we have -6 minus 9. And then we have to subtract our x values. And our x values are going to be 7 minus 2. And that should give us -15 over 5. And if we reduce that, -15 divided by 5 gives us a -3. So we found that our constant is 3. And notice that here our slope that we found of -3 is the same that we found using our solving equation. So you have two different methods you can use to find that constant value, either using your slope or using what you know about constant tables. That's it for your notes for today. You have some information that you need to do on page 5, and I have given that to you in another assignment.